All right. Well, hello, my little beauties, and welcome to today's stream. It's Saturday and it's live coding day. Apologies for my strange noises from my mobile phone there. Just as a reminder, this is not a tutorial. It's not a tutorial at all. It's not even a build. So you're not going to see me being very productive here. But what you will see is a dude struggling away and bungling through all sorts of mistakes and all of that, and just trying to get some things together. So basically, I'm going to be building or rebuilding all of the time date JavaScript that comes with the Trongate framework. Now there's quite a lot here. We're talking about pop-up calendars, date range pickers, date time pickers, date time range pickers, and probably one or two that I cannot even think of. So there's a lot of work. I predict that this is going to take me about 1 month to do, and it's the reason why other frameworks, other PHP frameworks, don't have these types of intellectual assets, if I can call them that. Other frameworks don't have this type of stuff because making it, quite frankly, is a whole lot of work, you know. So that's what I'm going to be working on, and if you'll give me just a few moments, I'll just get myself set up here. So again, I'm not expecting anybody to follow along or anything like that. It's just actually, computer, set alarm for 2 hours.
2-hour alarm set for 3:52 p.m.
Good. So we're going to do a couple of hours worth here, and I'm just setting up everything. One thing I have not set up is my watch. I have to wear a watch, so I have to think to myself, what is the vibe I want today? I know exactly the vibe. I'm going to go with this. It's a Zeppelin, and as you can see, it's got lots of fancy little shenanigans. See? Very fancy. And to me, it looks like the kind of watch that a physics professor would wear. So I'm not feeling very intelligent today. But when I'm working on something that requires a little bit of intelligence, I need all the help I can get, and just maybe, I'll get it from this here watch. I'm speaking hillbilly, you know. So that's going to be the watch for the first half of the day. I've started wearing 2 watches per day. I usually do a little changeover at some point. So this is the first half of the day, and there we go. Shall we dance? Oh, people, do you hear me? Shall we dance? Well, let me get a wee bit of music first of all, because I don't like to just code in silence all the time. Let me just see. Copyright free music. Synth wave. All right. Okay, so here we go then. Now, hold your ears just in case this is really, really loud, okay? No joke. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alright, you can relax. Right, I'm just going to play a little bit of music. Okay. So this is just from YouTube. Oh, apologies. There we go. There we go. I'll leave a link to this in case anybody wants it. Alright kids, so let's do this. So we're rebuilding the pop-up calendar, and once again, I'm not going to finish this today, and it's not a tutorial, that's for sure. Okay, I've got a couple of things I want to do to begin with. When a pop-up calendar opens, I can see we've got orange for what looks like the selected date, and blue for the current date. That's excellent. I really like that. So orange, blue, loving it. That is actually what I was about to build, and I've already got it. That's great. Now let me hit the next button. Okay. Excuse me, excuse me. Excuse me very much, excuse me very much. Right, okay. So let me just copy this date. I'm going to go here. Yeah, that's just fantastic. There's no question about it. That's exactly what I want. So the only real glitch with this, and by the way, with this new calendar, you're going to be able to change dates and go to the past. So for example, I know that I was born on a Friday, so if I change to 1976, click into it and then go like this, it's February, there you go. And it was also, yeah, so I was born on the 6th, so that's right. And it was also a leap year, so it's correctly getting 29 days per month in here. This is actually pretty good. Now one of the things that you'll be able to do with this new version of the calendar is you'll be able to add in pardon me, a little line of code that will change the calendar to something in your language. So for example, let's go with Austrian German here. I'll copy this. I hope you can see the screen. If I take a little trip to config here, I'm gonna define default local string, and actually I should have just done this up here, shouldn't I? So if I do that, save it, and then refresh, we should have well, look at the days. Interesting, right? Now I'm slightly concerned about the top part not changing, so let me go to another language. Let's see if we can get French. So what we're trying to do is get it multi, and it works. It absolutely works. You can see that the month has changed, the days look fabulous, and that is beautiful. Alright, so we've got some multilingual stuff. Dan, how are you doing, Dan? Haven't seen you for a few days. It's very good to see you, man, and I hope you are well. Welcome. It's very dark in here today for some reason. I might switch the light on later on. You know what? Maybe I'll switch the light on right now, actually. Hang on a second. I actually have an idea for something, which I'm going to try. Believe it or not, a lot of work goes into the lighting here. I mean, I'll spin the camera around and show you, right? I'll probably regret this, but I'm just in a little room. I have my, let me see, there's, yeah, I have my water distiller here. I have He-Man helping me out. Couple of other bits and pieces, but over on the window I've got this big screen just to block the sunlight, because I have issues with that, you know. Now the other side of that screen is white, and I reckon if I put that in front of me, it's going to improve the lighting. So I'm going to pick that thing up, flip it over, and then do that, okay? So yeah, let me do that. It'll take just a little second. Working on your truck. What a macho way to start the weekend. I love it. I love it. Alright, give me a wee second, folks. We'll just see if we can do something about this lighting. Okay. Alright. Oh, that's just made my forehead go really bright. Alright, to hell with that. I'll go with this vibe. You guys are going to find out all of my secrets if I get this lighting too good. Alright. We're good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Jennifer, love how worn out your chair is. Yeah, the chair was good, but the cat got it. Have a look. It's pretty bad, you know. But it's kind of a trademark, you know. Kind of a trademark. Alright then. So hopefully that's a little bit more clear. Not too clear though. Not too clear. Alright, so we have done stuff. We have a few people watching. That's kind of cool for a guy like me. You're looking at this stream and saying there's only 9 concurrent users. What a depressing vibe. Folks, for me that's staggering. Don't you know that this is the cancelled framework? You're not meant to know about this. You're not meant to know about me, you know? Yeah, on the chair. My cat's done a lot of hard work on the chair as well. Let me tell you. Now, what was this? I don't think that was anything embarrassing. It might have been. Did you hear that the head honcho of OpenAI... I know I shouldn't laugh. But the head honcho of OpenAI get fired, and I'm laughing because somebody had made the interesting observation how... in the end, the only person who lost their job to OpenAI was the guy who invented it. I know. Anyway, I don't know what happened there. I have no doubt that there are pending horrendous allegations. I'm sure they'll arrive any minute now. They're never late, those allegations. I don't know what happened. And call me a dude with a dark sense of humour. But there's just something funny about that. It's like, you think about all the time he spent saying, you know, you might lose your job. You might lose your job. Well, how did that work out, Sam? Anyway, I know it's not that funny. And I'm sure, actually I have heard that there are serious allegations apparently emerging. Some I can't, Why do I find that so funny? Why do I find that so funny? Right, pull yourself together. This is a serious channel. Yeah, so anyway, maybe Elon will take over. I don't know. But Dan's saying yes. OpenAI fired the inventor, then the other guy quit. Oh, right, I didn't know. I presumed that the Sam guy was the inventor. But you know what? I mean, I'm God bless that guy. God bless all of them. But it seemed to me that in Elon, is there any point in saying Elon Musk, by the way? Like, is there an Elon Smith out there? You know, Elon Baxter. Oh, we need to make that differentiation, don't we, folks? Anyway, Elon Musk. Feel like a bit of an idiot saying that. Yeah, just in case you're mistaking me with some other Elon. But anyway, he was saying that it started off as a charitable vibe. And it was meant to be a non-profit. And I watched this launch from OpenAI just through the week. And to me, it looked like the guy Sam Altman was doing a fabulous impersonation of Mark Zuckerberg. Everything just seemed to have that vibe again, you know. As he reassured us that they kept the prices as low as they could. And, you know, it kind of, it's like, well, there you go. I guess that's what happened. And as far as I can tell, allegations, I mean, I'll probably have some allegations by the time I finish this live stream. I'm not really thinking about allegations, but what an idiot. He has ended up in a position where he has no authority on the boardroom or anything like that. As far as I can tell, he's not a major shareholder. In fact, I think that I might be wrong, but I don't think that he has any share in the company or anything. And we saw this type of thing happening before with Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs, of course, bounced back. And that was one of the great comebacks of business. But I don't think that will happen here, because Steve Jobs had decades of experience when that had happened. He'd been out in the streets, rough and tumble and all the rest of it. A year ago, none of us even knew who Sam Altman, or whatever his name is, even was, you know. All of that stuff just appeared out of nowhere. So as far as I can tell, it looks like the corporate machine have just basically gobbled him up, taken any assets that he had, and now spat him out. And I think that there's lessons to be learned there for all. Now give me just a little second, won't you? I have to blow my nose. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hello, Stefan. How you doing? It's ahoy to you. Oh, Elon's had a blow up halfway through the flight. Wow, that's unreal. That's unfortunate, isn't it? Right, give me just 2 seconds. Okay. Right, well, shall we dance? Oh, people, do you hear me? Shall we dance? Now, just as a reminder, this is not a tutorial. It's also not me doing a build or anything. Instead, you get a guy bungling through some stuff, pretty clueless, making lots of mistakes, and almost certainly finishing nothing. So don't be surprised if there's not too much produced here, but I'm trying my best, you know. So before the that, you have to admit there's something funny about that. Anyway, so before the break, I was demonstrating how we've now got this multilingual functionality here, which is going to be really cool. The promised land is, I'd like to get it to the stage where you can set a language and perhaps a character set, and it just works and it generates with all the validation errors and everything in your language. But here's all of the languages that would probably have to cover, and it's quite a lot, you know. So that won't be happening this week, probably. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. Do you see how we've got this 14 that appears everywhere? And that would appear to be the selected date here. Now as we head back, you can see that today's date's working nicely, but this is a challenge. And I haven't got a clue how it works or anything, even though I wrote the code. But I can see a little cell that says selected day cell. And I'm going to just do a site-wide search for selected day cell. Now, here we go. I'm seeing... Okay, so immediately I'm being drawn towards this. I'm looking for selected day cell, and we've got a thing that says unseen box value and a thing called selected day string. So let's just console.log the unseen box value in the selected day string and just see exactly what we're working with here. So as we click, oh, now look at this, unseen box value 23, 11, 14. So what on earth is that all about? Well, it looks like it's the year. Ah, there you go. Right, okay, there's your answer. So what's happening is the following. I'm going to show you something awesome, right? Look at, right, watch, I'll just show you, right? Look at this code, but don't read it. Just look at it. Feel the code. Feel the code. Right. Do you see how it feels good? It's more than just the alignment. Don't read it and don't think. You can feel the code, right? It feels good. Now feel this code. Feel this part here. Look. Look. And again, don't read it. And do you see how it's an entirely different energy? It feels messy. Kind of looks a bit messy. That's it. That's the problem. So that's what we're going to do now. We have to make a decision. Are we going to fix the thing completely and rebuild it and rewrite it? Or are we going to pinpoint the exact area where there's a challenge? I don't know. What do you reckon, He-Man? He doesn't know. What do you reckon? Fix it completely. Okay then, I shall fix it completely. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to add some X's on, and we're going to go like this. Okay, and I'm going to say Ahoy! So let's see if we can fix this, and it might take me 2 hours. But there we go, right? Now what is the purpose of this thing? Well, as you can see, it returns a date picker table, and the date picker table is a table element actually. So if we go like that and return date picker table, then that works. Now, do you see the thing that shows up with all of the little cells and all of that? That literally is an HTML table, and that's the table that is being referred to here. So, how does it work? Okay, well, what's this month start day number? Year, month, first day, get a day, month start day number 7. I don't know what that's doing, but I feel kind of good about it, so I'm going to keep it. Now, let's just go num days in month. What does that do? Get num days in month. I think that works as well. Again, I don't understand it, but I can kind of feel it, you know? That's right, we're all going Jedi today, folks. We're all going Jedi today. So, let's just go like this. And I'll just console.log these things, okay? So month start day number. Gonna click. Month start day number is a type of 3. Now, that's talking about November. So, if November started on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, well hang on, 0 is a Monday, 2, 3, I don't get that. Month start day num. Oh no, it's do you know what it is? It's doing it the cool way. It's counting Wednesday as 3, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what's going on. Right, I'm going to assume that that's good. So the next thing is the num days in month. And it's saying 30, which is correct. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Right. I'm going to take a wild leap of faith and assume that this is 100% right up until this point here. So the next thing that we're going to do is okay, I'm going to call up the employee of the month. Although maybe not the employee of the month for Sam Altman. Okay. I have a JavaScript variable called which returns an int representing the first day of the month. For example, the first day this month was a Wednesday. Therefore, the month start day num for this month would be 3, since Wednesday is considered to be the 3rd day of the week. I have a second JavaScript variable called num weeks this month. This, no. Num days in month. This represents the number of days in a given month. At the time of writing, it's November, so num days in month would have a value of 30 for this month. Okay, so next we've got can you give me a JavaScript function that returns the number of weeks in a given month. Please note, this is for a pop-up calendar. If the first day of the given month only takes up one square on a week row, we should count this as being 1 week required. For the function, you may accept any of the variables I've explained, or you may use any other technique of your choosing. The goal is to ultimately draw a calendar as an HTML table where each week will be represented as a table row. Alright, that was a long question. Okay. Now, it did use those two things, but I'm gonna just copy this. I'm not gonna have it as a function. And we're gonna go up here. And the name that we're given this variable is going to be num weeks this month. So that's going to be that. So now I'm going to just say console.log num weeks this month. Have a little refresh. And it says 5. Now, is that right? Is that right? Does anybody know? Does anybody remember laughter? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's good. Okay. So let's take one with lots of weeks required. Like, let's keep going. Ah, there we go. So that one is this month here. So I'm going to go to the create thing. I'm going to say start date equals. So that's a particularly long and nightmarish scenario. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks required here, right? So if I go back here, will it correctly identify It does. Excellent. Right, so I am now 100% confident in all of this stuff. This coffee is ice cold, I kid you not. It's pretty darn cold here. Everybody okay? What you working on today? Anything good? Anybody doing anything cool? Let me know in the comments. And shall we have a little poll? Okay. How do we feel? How do you feel about Sam, what's his name? I don't know his second name. Is it Altman? I think it's Altman. Sam AI getting fired. Let's see. Ha to bad news. Alright, there we go. There's our little poll of the day, folks. Get involved, let me know what you think. Your opinions count here. Alright, so we've now got the total number of weeks clarified, and we managed to do so with fewer lines of code than before. So now, what are we going to do? Right, here's what we're going to do. This is where the business part of this calendar starts here. So selected date is Trongate datetime object, assumed date. Now hold on a second. Nah, I'm not into that. I'm not into that at all. I don't like this. Don't feel it. Not feeling it. So let's try a little experiment. I would like to just see what we've got access to here. So I'm going to say json.stringify Trongate datetime object, because we do have an object here, you know. So here's what we've got. Now that is not much fun to look at. Can I copy this? I've had this challenge lately, just copying things. Anyway, not to worry. So here's what we've got. We've got assumed date, which it's given us. We've got today's date, which is correct. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to this. Thank you. I have access to a property which is part of a Trongate datetime object. The property is called assumed date. An example of a typical value for assumed date is that given all of the information that we have, I'll just go like this actually. Let's just really be stupid. Assumed date is that assumed date. And I hate asking questions like this of AI. It feels so lazy. Given all of the information that we have so far, can you help me to finish this function so that an HTML table is drawn representing the month that is associated with. Here's my starter code. Alright, I really don't like asking questions like that because it's like you're almost saying, gonna you do it? But I'm just curious to see if it can do it better than I did it in the past. It will be an interesting wee thing to see, you know. So let's have a look at this. In fact, I'll paste it here so you can see that if we right, okay, so that's interesting, right? So what it's doing, we're getting our variables that we've got. It's clarifying the days of the week. Now I have an issue with that. Then we've got a day counter. It creates a table header, THs and all of that stuff, which I don't even think we need. Builds everything and returns the table. Now inside each of those table cells, it adds in a day counter. So that might be good actually. Let's just save, have a little refresh. And here it's saying num weeks in month is not defined. Okay, so here's num weeks this month. And you can see that it just appears out of nowhere here. So we're going to go back to the previous answer. So, what's the thing it's missing? Num weeks in month. Okay, so I'm going to change the name of this to num weeks this month. Have a little refresh. Get month index is not a function. Oh, jeez. It was going so well. Look at that, get month index, it doesn't even exist. Right, well we've not got that function, so I think that ChatGPT is going to fall apart here. So what's it missing? Assume date. That's not going to help. Calculate weeks in month. Okay, so okay. There we go. Remaining days. Oh, this is garbage. This is garbage. Right. Well, like a complete bungling idiot, I'm gonna Right, give me a wee second, I've got my phone going. Hello? I'm doing great, how are you? Good. Oh, that's okay. Did I miss a call for you earlier on? Doing good, thanks. I'm just doing a wee live stream here, working on a pop-up calendar. And it's no big deal. How are you? Right. But your kitchen was always good anyway, right? Oh, okay, okay. That's cool. That's really cool. Well, I hope it goes well, and if I win the lottery, I'll maybe hire you to clean this place. Alright, well, great to hear from you, and good luck with everything. That sounds awesome. Yeah, everything's going good, you know. I'm okay. I'm okay. Aye, everything's going good. I'm just you know, ploughing forward with this thing, and that's about it. Yep. I do hope so. I do hope so. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Well, it's certainly good to hear from you, and thanks again for phoning. Maybe we can catch up later the night or something, even if just by phone, okay? Alright. Alright. Take it easy then. Have a great day. Right. Okay, cheers now, bye. Alright. So, let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah, I felt like the thing, it was kind of, whatever it was giving me there, it wasn't helping. So I'm going to just not use ChatGPT, which is a little bit scary for a dude like me, you know. So there's our assumed date, and the assumed date is based on the selected date here. And I have to wonder, how does that even get set? So let's have a look. Okay. Ah, there we go. So what it does, that makes perfect sense. So right around here, it's reading the thing. Look, if I go like this, alert, gotcha. It's going to say gotcha when I click. See that? So what that means is it's reading the form input here. When it successfully turns that into something, it calls it, or it attaches it to this assumed date property. So that's what's going on here, okay? So if we go back up to this build date picker thing, we have that happening. Now, if we have a look at our object, we've also got a thing called today date, which could turn out to be quite useful as well. Today date is just a new date, so that literally is today's date, and blah 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 blah. The bottom line is we are in good shape so far. I'm absolutely confident of this stuff. So what I'm going to do then, we are going to get Now let me think here. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of create element TD here. And TR. Okay, so here's what we do then. We're going to say date picker table is document create element table. There's not going to be a table head or anything like that. I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to do a for loop. It's going to go like this. And we're going to look at num weeks this month. And then I'm going to console.log I is I. So in the most simple way possible, each week gets a row on the table. If we click, you can see here that it says I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just for absolute clarity, I'm going to just say that num weeks this month. So if we click, num weeks this month is 6, and you can see that we're starting from 6 here. This is 0 based. I think I'm okay with that. Okay. So right, I'm going to call this table row index. It helps me psychologically. Alright, there we go, table row index. So for each and every table row index, we are going to draw 7 table cells. So I'm going to say for again. Now you have to be careful here because you don't want to say I too much, and well, I suppose we did change it to table row index, but let's do the same here and we'll call this day cell index. There we go. And that is going to be right. So if you look, we've got a thing here which is called day names. So I'm going to say const day names is Trongate blah 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 day names, and then for day names dot length blah 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 blah, and I'm going to just console.log day name is, and let's just chuck in this thing. Now I have no clue what this will do, but let's just see. And that looks really good. You can see all of our day names here are looking beautiful. And it's perfect. It's perfect. Now, one of the challenges we've got is that we don't want a full day name. Well, I suppose it's irrelevant because we've already got the top of the table row somewhere, or have we? Let me just check. So what are we doing? Let's see, week, date picker, row, TD, empty day, current day. Alright, let's just... One moment. Right, we've got a thing called date picker head. I'm gonna do a little set timeout, and I'm gonna console.log date picker head .outer HTML. I just want to see what this is gonna give me. Okay, so that is the date picker head. It has nothing, it's this top section. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing. So that's a problem. So let's go back to build date picker table. I'll add a little X here, bring the old one back to life, and let's see if we can figure out how this row is being created here. If we inspect, they're all saying TG date picker row, but aha, it's a TH we're getting. Do you see that? Right, excellent. So let's look for a TH. Maybe even in quotations. Are we going to get one? Maybe not. Calendar week row, so it does that. Day counter, class, day cell, empty, assume date, forgive me, unseen, selected. Right, I don't have much of a clue how this is working, to be honest, but I'll figure it out. So create a text node, append the text node. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll do a set timeout, and then we'll console.log date picker table .outer HTML. All I'm trying to do is figure out where it's getting these day rows from. So here we are. Okay. Ah, jeez. Alright, let's keep on going. I'm gonna say date picker row X. Oh, good. So do you see how these are saying row X, but this one does not? Ah ha ha ha. So that means that if we search for this, I'll do a plus. I'll do a little star symbol. No. Okay, so that is line 156. Let's go back up. I'm seeing a thing that says abbreviated day. Const abbreviated day is, I'll do 2 X's. So there you go. So now we know where the abbreviated day comes from. It is 100% confirmed that it comes from this thing. and yeah, it's perfect, and it's just taking the first two characters. So let's copy that. Okay. This stuff can really fry your head if you think about it too much. But we've got a thing called Trongate date object, date picker, top row. So when we say build and populate date picker table, it's already given us this top row. That's right. So what we do is this. I'm going to copy this little right, well, I'll just show you. If I take this out, put this out of action here. Now watch. Right, the table's kind of empty, right? But now I'm going to say the moment we create the table, we add on the top row. So as we click, there's our top row, and it looks fantastic. Now that is going to work in any language at all. Let's prove that. I'll switch to French. Keep an eye on the top row, and there you go. So that's excellent. So now we get on to the business end of this. This is the part that ChatGPT could not handle, but we can handle it. Remember folks, always code with an expectation of success. So here we are here. We are clicking on this, and you can see that it's going through each and every one of these days here. So we're going to say let box counter is 0. Let, now what did we call it previously? Day counter. So we're going to say let, now hold on. Yeah, so let day counter is also 0, right? So as we loop through each and every one of these little beauties, box counter is going to increment by 1, and we're going to say const. Now how did we name it? Yeah, so we go like this. Calendar table td is document create element td. But of course, we have to do a row, don't we? So right here, we'll say create a table row. So const calendar table row is document create element tr, and then we're going to say date picker table append child of, and it's a child of calendar table row. Then here's our TD. Now I'm going to say TD dot inner text is box counter. Then I'm going to say for the table row, append child of this thing here. Alright, so if I've done this right, it should give us some kind of table. And there you go. And you can see it's given us everything that we need, and everything is fine. Now this is very far from perfect, because of course we don't really want it to put the box counter in here. Instead, we want it to put the day in here. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, there's going to be a thing for an empty cell. So do you see how we've got this empty day thing, class is empty day, right? So if the box counter, aye, that's it, that's our if statement right there. So we are saying around about here, if the box counter is less than month start day number, then we are gonna say calendar table td dot class list dot add, and what did we call it? Empty day. And then we're also going to say calendar blah 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 td inner text, something like that, you know. Or you could say inner HTML and do one of those symbols like that. Could do that. So that's assuming it's an empty day. But if it's not an empty day, then the inner HTML equals day counter, but day counter increments by 1. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, my genius knows no limits. So, where does that leave us? Now, for some reason, it's still giving me... Ah, here we go. We take this out. There we go. There's your calendar. So let me give this the ultimate test by going to my 1976. Again, I was born on a Friday and on a leap year, so that's perfect. Have a look at that. It's really nice. Right, that's looking good. And we have bad news for AI users. Yeah, it probably is. I mean, it's all commercial now. You have spoken, and I appreciate that. John is here. How you doing, John? Welcome. Ding, 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 ding. Shibanshi is here. How you doing? He says, what happened to your... Oh, the watch video review. Yes. Yeah. Shibanshi, my friend, let me talk to you a second. Let me talk to you. To be clear, these are not shit watches. These are fantastic watches. I love them all. I love them all. But I'll tell you what happened. When I put a video on YouTube, I'm aiming for 20% thumbs ups, which is well above the industry norm. But I'm aiming for 20%. If 20% of people give me a thumbs up, it makes me think, okay, I'm probably resonating with people, and that's good. If I put a video up and I get 10% thumbs ups, 1 in 10. That means, okay, maybe it hasn't electrified the landscape, but it's acceptable. And again, that's well above most. Go look at any other channel in the web development genre, you won't see that. If I put a video up and it gets less than 10% thumbs ups and hardly any comments, I just assume it must have been a crap video and I take it down. And under my breath I say, I apologize, people of YouTube. This is why it's important to click thumbs ups and leave comments and stuff like that. I don't think it really matters in terms of money or algos or anything, but for me as a person, if I'm not seeing thumbs ups or anything, I just assume people don't like it and I take it down. I do it all the time. I reckon in any given year I'll delete about 50 videos because I either don't get enough thumbs ups or because as soon as I finish it I go, oh, that was crazy. I mean, I done a video last night. I spent about an hour on it and then I thought, I can't put this up because it's too heavy. I don't think they could handle it, you know. So this is why thumbs ups, this is why it matters. So the video never got enough thumbs ups. Fine, I assume that you like watch it, or pardon me, you don't like watches. So we'll talk about code. All right. Doesn't ChatGPT take up to $1 million to run every day? I don't know. Saturday and I'm stuck writing test cases with Cypress. Well, that sounds miserable. Let's see what else we got. Something about Dan says his partner quit, going back to the Sam Altman situation. I'll try not to laugh at that. Jennifer says it's like Mark Zuckerberg getting fired from Facebook. Well, you know what's bizarre about that? He, I don't know if any of you watched the last launch, the OpenAI one. It really was like somebody doing an impersonation of Mark Zuckerberg. His body language, his speech patterns, even the way he was dressing, the choice of colours and everything. And what a change. What a change from being the altruistic dude who's going to be changing the world for the better, telling us all that we might lose our jobs. Anyway, what else have we got here? I think that's us. So, shall we... I had something else I wanted to ask you, but I can't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. Let's just keep on coding. Alright. So, as you can see, we're building a little calendar. Not a bad day so far. I like the way that this works. I think it looks nice. I think that the boxes are beautiful. I like the rows. Yeah, it's fast. It's multilingual. This is good. This is a good calendar. So the next thing that we have to do, and I'll have a wee cheating look at what's coming up here and see. So what did we say previously? Okay, so we had a thing called current day, which I see. Okay, so we had a thing called current day. If we do that, it makes the cell go dark blue. But then we had another class called selected day cell. Right, so let's have a wee bit of fun. I think these are the only two things we have to do at this stage to make this perfect. So let's just say if day counter is 15, then we're going to say calendar table td class list add selected day cell. Now we know that that's not really the selected, but we just want to see it working, you know. Then we're going to say else if day counter, pick a number, 7 maybe. So in that instance we'll say that it's going to be, now what was it called? seen a lot of classes here, you know, like current day. Is that the one? Yeah, let's just chuck that in. Alright, so let's just see what this does. We're only interested in how it looks, okay? So as we click, there you go. And I think that looks beautiful. I really, really like it. I did see another one though that caught my attention. I saw a class that said unavailable day. Did you see that? Now I have no clue what this means. Are there any other strange classes selected on a... Right, let's see what unavailable day does. Again, I haven't got a clue. But let's just see. We'll chuck in this unavailable and we'll make this one kick in around about, I don't know, 10. Day 10. Or thereabouts. So that makes this go white. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So I know exactly what we're going to do. The unavailable day is going to... Right, we'll do that. I will finish that before this stream's coming up, but right now we'll focus on this. We are certainly going to be using unavailable days, but this is where the action is. So the first thing that we have to do is figure out a sophisticated way of figuring out... Oh gee, have you ever heard the word figuring out so many times? Figuring out the conditions for saying that this is the selected day. So how do we do that? Well, let's look at our... I mean, I'm asking legitimate questions here. I don't know the answer. Okay. Let's have a look. Is there anything here? Assumed date. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, so let's see how we did this previously. Now you can see that it's calling test for current day. Alright, I don't know. I'm going to go back to the employee of the month and I'm going to say, how do I get the current year from a date object in JavaScript? Okay, cool. So we'll go back to our if statement here. And I have to say, isn't this starting to look fantastic? But what we'll do is I'm going to say const assumed year is, and we're going to say Trongate blah 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 assumed date get full year. So let me just make sure that I have that value by saying assumed year is this. Here we go. And you can see that it's saying assumed year is 2024. That is fantastic. Now, going back to our date object, do you see how we've got a thing called today date, right? So what we're now going to do is we're going to say const now year is this today date, and again we do have a today date object. There it is. So it's going to be today date get full year. Excellent. There it is right there. Isn't that cool? So again, I hardly need to do this, but I'll do it just because I can. So as we click, it says now year is 2023. Pretty cool. Okay, so we've got the assumed year. We've got the now year. Let's see if we can get... Okay, thanks. Can you also... Nah. Do you know what? I'm making it too complicated. Can you show me how to get the date without the time or any time zone information as a string from a date object in JavaScript? That's what I should have done. It's cool. Not to worry. Now hang on a minute. Boom, 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 boom. That. No, what I did first was right, because we're only looking at day counters. Forget what I just said. Can you show me how to get the current month number from a date object? I did do it right first time, actually. Alright, so we're going to go like this. We're going to call this now month. And then up here, we are going to have assumed month. An assumed month is going to be that, get month. Okay, thanks. Finally, can you show me how to get a day number from a date object in JavaScript? Okay, so what do we do here? Okay, that's excellent, and it's even given us it in the format that we like. So I'm going to say const now day is... No, let me get this right. It's not current date, it's this today date. There you go. Okay, so that's that. Now, I'm gonna say let check for now day is false. However, if... Now this will be actually two conditions. And the two conditions are going to be if the assumed year is equivalent to now year and the assumed month is equivalent to now month. So in that scenario, check for now day is true. Can you improve readability by turning this into a ternary? It's a stupid suggestion. Okay, I like that. Okay, now because we've now done this, can we make it a const? Yes, we can. Okay, nice. So now what we're doing is this is really nice code. It's very economical. So what we're going to do is the following. We're going to say if, and again there's going to be two conditions, and the two conditions are going to be if check for now day is true and day counter is equivalent to now day. If that's the case, then we add in the current day. I'm going to comment this out. We don't need this anymore. So I'm going to refresh. We should now have the correct current day selected. Oh well, hang on a minute. That's in the future. Let's move back. There it is right there. There's the current day. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Your applause is most welcome. If any of you find a guy who's like me, could you let me know? I'd like to hire him. Alright. Everybody okay? Everybody okay? I think I'm boring people as we move on into this stuff. But that's okay. So, that's really nice code. It's a whole lot more economical than anything we had before. And I think it does a good job. I don't even think... Yeah, selected day cell. We'll do that in a minute as well. Okay. Let me just ask the employee of the month, can you make this more readable? I don't think you can. By spacing out blocks and using the variable name as current day. Okay. I'll go with that. Is it a good idea to use var for the loop, or would it be better to use let? Alright, so that's fine. A little bit of refactoring action, heading on in like this. So instead of var, we'll change this to let. And there it is. What a beautiful calendar we have. Alright. So the next thing that we're going to do is we have to test for the selected day. So let's see how we can do that. We're going to go back to this, and I'm looking. Right. I'm seeing a thing called original input value. Okay. So what this does is we get the date picker input. We get the parsed date. Okay, I'm going to do a set timeout. I'm going to JSON.stringify Trongate datetime object. There it is there. So we know that it's the 12th of September. Oh good, so we've got the original input value there. Let's just have a super quick look at the original input value. That's good. That's very good. Okay, this is good. So what we're going to do then is give me a minute. Okay, here's our thing. This looks good. I've got it. I've figured it out. Right, 355 parsed date. Good. Good. 355. I know exactly what I'm doing. So what we do is the following. Okay. These variables determine if so the name of the thing selected day cell. I think that's the name of it. Yeah. Selected day cell. So these variables determine if selected day cell Alright. This is framework stuff. So I know that this seems stupid, but I'm going to say, can you make this comment more professional? Can you make the comment shorter? Good. same request again, please, but for this. All right. Okay, good. So the following variables help to determine this. Now, again, 354, I'm going to look at this parsed date. So I think I'm going to get another property onto this object here. So let's say we've got assumed date, we've got today's date, and let's just say I'd like to create a variable that represents a date that has been parsed from a form input field. What would be a good name for the variable? Parsed date input parsed. I'm going to call it parsed input date. What should null parsed? Okay, parsed input date, it's going to be null. That's it, perfect. Parsed input date. How do we check to see if it has a value? Now we know it's just an if statement, but I'm just trying to do it by the book. If that blah 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 does not equal null. Okay, cool. Parsed input date. So moving down. Right, do you remember we had parsed input date here, right? So I'm going to head down here. Okay. Okay, so when we build the date picker calendar, if the parsed date is null, we just assume today's date. But if the parsed date is good, we're going to say Trongate datetime object parsed date input is going to be parsed date. There you go. So that is perfect. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, right, we're going to say if Trongate datetime object dot parsed blah 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 does not equal null. Is that how we do it? Yes, it is. So if that does not equal null, then we're going to say parsed year, and this is going to be parsed input date dot, like that. Now, okay, so I'm gonna say let check for selected day. We'll make it false by default, right? So that is check for selected day. However, if and it's going to be if assumed year is equivalent to parsed year and assumed month is equivalent to parsed month, then check for selected day is true. So that would change it. However, I'm going to say let parsed day is 0. So there we go. So now as we head in here, the rest of this is easy. So it's if check for, no, I'll write it the same as this thing, exactly the same. I don't like the syntax, but doesn't matter. So we're going to say is selected day is, now it's not going to be check for now day, it's going to be check for selected day, and the day counter should equal parsed day. There you go. So if that's the case, then we're going to add a class of selected day cell. And there you have it. Save. So let's go back to our table, refresh, going to click, and there is the selected day in all of its heavenly glory. And if we go back to this, oh gee, that's not right. What can you do? So okay, so we made a little mistake. We said assumed year is parsed year, check for selected day is true. Oh jeez. Alright, give me a minute. I'm going to have to close a door. It's really cold in here. Okay, so we're having a little bit of a challenge here with these selected days, but nothing that we cannot handle. So let me do a little refresh on September, head to October, November. Alright, let me go like that. Okay, so you can see this thing really doing its job here, but the challenge is that it keeps on giving me these selected things every month, which is definitely not what I'm interested in having here. So if the assumed year is parsed year and the assumed year is parsed month, well, let me just console.log parsed year is, and I'll just say parsed year, and then I'm going to console.log parsed month is parsed month. Let's click. So parsed years 2023, parsed month is 10. Right, now that's wrong. Right, hold on. Click. Parsed month is 10. That's correct. Parsed month is 11, then it goes to 0. So the months are 0 based. Parsed month is 10. And then again it says parsed month is 11, and the parsed year's changed. So this parsed input date is a problem. So here I'm going to say changed to that. So as we click, it says change to Sunday 12th of November, blah 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 blah. Now I'm going to click, and again, I see what's happening. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. So we're doing that. It's Sunday the 12th. Now, that oh, I see what might be going on. Could it be that that's attaching to a variable called parsed date or something, and parsed date's changing? Could it be that? I wonder. It was that. What a peculiar feature of JavaScript we have discovered. I see. So, right. Okay, I think we've got it. So let's now get rid of some console.logs. That's a very peculiar feature, you know, I never thought that happened. I thought when you set a variable that was it. But nay, I tell you, nay. So let's get back to having a day selected. Let's say 10. So if we do that, click, here we are on October the 12th. You can see that it's selected. If I click off, it's beautiful. I can do anything, but if I go to the next page, you'll see that now day is selected, and that, my friends, is fantasticola. So I'm going to get rid of some console.logs, and then we're in a really great place with this calendar. You can see, by the way, why nobody teaches how to build a pop-up calendar on YouTube. It takes ages. I used to always wonder, how come there's no decent tutorials? Well, that's your answer. Getting this right is going to be about 1,000 lines of JavaScript. And that's before we've done the other stuff, you know. Now, one of the questions that's on my mind here is what happens if you've got a situation like the following. Okay, let's go to 11. Now, this is the 18th. Oh, geez. I'm going to choose 18. Click. So that highlights like that. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. Okay, cool. So it's blue for the current day and orange for the selected day. You have to say that's fine. Okay, now if we click, November started on a Wednesday. I'm going to do something a little bit crazy now. What if the week started on a Sunday? Well, that's heavy. That's very heavy. Because some people like their weeks to start on a Sunday. So let's fix this. Okay. You can see that we've got a thing called week starts on. Now, so what we're going to do is the following. If that week starts on is equivalent to 0, that means the week starts on a Sunday. I'm going to say day counter negative negative. Maybe not. Alright, let's try another one. If that is the case, then okay, let's just say month start day num plus plus. And it's a constant. So where's that? Alright, so we'll say let and there it is. So that's that fixed. So if some weirdo out there would like their days to start on a Sunday, they can just change that value and it will all just work. Now, by the way, I just thought of something. Yeah, I'm gonna copy that and then okay. Can you make this more readable? It'll do one of those ternary operators. No. Okay, so I think we're good. I think we're good. I haven't entirely tested it. Ouch. Now look at that. So here we have an interesting situation where we've got an empty row. So here's what we do with this. Okay, well, okay, I think that these empty cells or rows are a problem and I have to do something about them. So let me think here. Ouch. All right. Probably this remove empty rows thing, I'll bring it back. Yeah, let's just do that. It's a bit crude, but I think it does the job, you know. So here we go. So September 2024 has got an extra row. I'm going to refresh. And there it's fixed. Pretty cool. That's excellent. Now I'll just give it the ultimate test. This is week starts on Sunday, of course. So if we go like that, And there's me being born on a Friday, 29 days in the month, and everything is beautiful. So that's fantastic. Alright, very good. Very good. Computer stop. Right, I'm actually quite happy with that. We've now got this thing working fabulously well. I wonder if we can... Yeah, I've still got to get the click day feature working, but you cannot complain. I mean, this is looking great, you know. So that's me done that. I'll do a little checkpoint here. CD. So this is going to be... Okay, get add all, get commit selected day and okay, so that's that, and I am feeling good. That was not a bad little 2 hours. I had said previously that, gee, my skin is falling apart. I'd said previously that I reckon this whole thing is going to take me a month, because I'm rewriting all of the date pickers and time pickers and stuff. And there's a couple of reasons why. There's 1 or 2 bugs, but I also want to get a focus on making it multilingual, you know. So that was a good day. A little bit slow, but it was good. Tomorrow I'm going to get date ranges working. So you'll be able to say select a day that's before this day or after this or a mixture of both, and that's going to be really cool. After that, a little bit of validation and we should be good. Famous last words, you know. So that concludes that. Apophis, how are you doing and where have you been? It's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. Oh, do you know what? I think I might owe you an apology. I went on a crusade. I had all these GitHub issues, you know. Well, not all. I had about 5. And I had this genius idea for getting rid of them, which is I'll just delete them all. And I sent messages saying, look, if you really want to do this, get in touch. And I apologise if you were in that category, my friend. I hope you were not. For anyone who doesn't know, Apophis here has been a really valuable contributor to the Trongate framework. We're all grateful, and we're certainly glad and better off for having him on board. Anyway, I think that's going to do me for this one. I've had my intelligent watch on. It's and as I was saying the other day, I do these watch. I mean, when I do the private stream, I'm forever talking about watches and stuff. This was always going to be a tricky day. I knew that this thing was going to be a little bit tricky, the selected days and whatnot. So that's why I'm wearing my fancy watch with all the bits and pieces. Look at this beautiful timer here. Check it out. I'm going to stop and reset. Look at it going round. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that fantastic? So this is my intelligent watch, which I wear when I'm trying to do something intelligent. Having done that, it's time for another watch. So what we're going to work on? I know exactly what I'm going to work on. I'm going to go and record some training videos. Have you heard of HTMX? Been trying to get it working with Trongate. I've heard of, I think that's to do with React, isn't it? I've heard of, yeah, I've heard of, I think it's something to do with React. I'm going to take a guess. Is that right? Anyway, yeah, that's cool if you've managed to, or you're figuring out how to get it working with Trongate. I'm, to give you a little update on my vibe, as you know, I've spent quite a long time working on this framework. But now I have to get back into the marketplace, which I'm doing. I'm going to be working on a client's website after this, but keeping state on the server. Alright, I don't know anything about that, my friend. In any event, if any of you are interested in the classic crappy YouTube videos where somebody says, I think this is a good technology, I've got my eye on Golang. I think that Golang is on the ascent, and I'm interested in it. It'll take me a wee while to retool and all of that, but of all the technologies I'm looking at, that's one that interests me, just in case you're wondering. And it's V1. Alright, folks, I'm going to hit the road if that's okay. I may be back. Will I be back? I probably won't be back, actually, because I'm going to go record some videos. And that might go on for some time. So this'll do me. Folks, just as a quick reminder, I live stream every day, usually about 6 hours a day, sometimes more. And if you want to hang out, you do not have to code alone. That's right. You don't have to code alone. You can become a channel member. And I think it's $5 a month, and it really helps me out, you know. So I hope that some of you might consider doing that. And I hope that you have a cool day. Apophis, I hope we can get a chance to catch up someday. I'd love to see what you're working on. Anyway, I have to go earn a living. So if you'll forgive me, I'll catch you soon. Take it easy. Have a great day. Keep on smiling. And always code with an expectation.